Hey, Dragonflies. Another lesson with Mr. Madsen. This is our last lesson talking about Kelso's choices. So remember, we have a different wheel. Kelso's choices aren't just for kids. Everyone uses the wheel. And I wanted you to again notice that the wheel is set up with two categories, 4 verbal and 4 nonverbal actions. These are all for minor problems. Remember, minor problems are problems that we're strong enough and smart enough to solve on our own. But serious problems, we need to get help from adults that we trust. Again, minor problems are problems that we're smart enough and we're strong enough emotionally to solve on our own. Serious problems are scary and they're dangerous. And when faced with a serious problem, we have to get help from an adult. Even adults do. So I want to remind you about Imessages. We talked about this last time. So when you use an iMessage, you describe how you feel when someone does something. Like, I feel sad, frustrated, mad when you push me out of the line for the drinking fountain. And I would like you to stop. Here's another example. I feel sad when you call me by a different name. Please stop and call me by my correct name. Again, we have to use a calm voice when we do this, but assertive. So we have to show them we mean business. Serious face, serious voice, but not a yelling voice, not a mad voice. And we're really clear. It makes us feel a certain way when they do something, and that we want them to stop and do something different instead that's more kind or respectful. All right, remember that both minor and serious problems cause feelings, and they activate our amygdalas. Remember the amygdala. It's the security guard. It's the part of our brain that tries to keep us safe. And breathing is the best way to calm our amygdalas down so that our prefrontal cortexes can be engaged, and they are really good at solving problems. And the more that we do that, then those memories of solving the problems by calming our amygdala down and letting our prefrontal cortex solve it, that becomes a memory that gets stored in our hippocampus. And that's what makes it easier and easier in the future. But our amygdalas are always going to get activated when we face a problem, always. And that's why it's really important that we practice ways to calm ourselves down. Okay, a review of the serious problem movie clips that we just saw. We just saw 2 serious problems in the last lesson. The first involved 2 girls, Karen and Ava, who got into a fight, and Ava did what's called cyberbullying. Okay, she got online on the internet and she tried to hurt Karen. Ava posted untrue rumors about Karen. Karen was beside herself. She wasn't sure what to do. Okay. She knew that this was a serious problem, and she was worried that people would believe the rumors. So, again, she realized this is a serious problem, and she spoke to her mom, who's a trusted adult. And her mom was able to call the school principal and get help with this serious problem. Spreading rumors, cyberbullying, those are both bullying things that some people do in order to try to hurt us and get back to us. It's a serious problem, and we have to get help from adults we trust. Next, we saw a video, another serious problem about 2 friends, Susanna and Lexi. And Susanna was throwing away her lunch and choosing to drink energy drinks instead of eating food. Her friend Lexi was concerned and told her that she didn't think it was healthy, but Susanna asked her not to tell because they were friends. If you have a friend who asks you to keep a secret that you feel is not right, maybe it's scary, maybe it's dangerous, trust your instincts and tell an adult you trust, okay? We don't keep secrets like that. We can keep secrets about surprise birthday parties, or gifts that people are going to get, But when it involves something serious, like someone is not being safe, we have to get help from adults that we trust. All right, here's 3 more video clips about some minor problems.
While working on a book report, Will was sitting between Steve, Tom, and Mark. He was trying to get his assignment done, but the other guys were goofing around. Tom and Mark began throwing paper at Will. Though he was frustrated with the guys, Will tried to ignore them. But he couldn't stand it anymore, and they wouldn't stop. To solve the problem, Will decided to move to another location. Will solved the problem. Ignoring them didn't work. But walking away and moving to another location did. Problem solved. Now if you try 2 things and they don't work, go to an adult you trust for help. That's not tattling, it's just the next step in solving an ongoing problem.
Okay, video recap. So, the first minor problem we saw was a library problem. Will, Steve, and Tom and Mark were all in the library. Tom and Mark decided to start to throw paper at Will. Will tried to ignore the other boys, but it was just too hard. So, instead of getting all upset and yelling at them, he decided he could walk away to solve this problem, and he found a different place in the library to work on the work that he wanted to do. Again, he was able to keep himself calm so that his prefrontal cortex could come up with that solution for the problem. Ignoring didn't work because the boys were throwing things at him.
At recess, some kids decided to play basketball. It started off okay, but as the game went on, Mark and Will began fouling kids on purpose.
Hey, that's a foul.
Dude, I tapped you.
Hey, come on guys, you can't do that.
You can't stop us.
Okay, I'm done. I don't play catch.
Me too.
No, you guys don't even know how to play basketball.
With all the pushing and shoving, that problem could have gotten out of hand. But Steve and Tom make a good choice to solve the problem. They went to another game.
Next problem we saw looked kind of like a serious problem. It was a basketball game, and the guys decided to play at recess. This happens a lot at our recess. People decide to play basketball or football, and then they start to argue about rules. Well, Mark and Will started to foul the other guys on purpose. Steve and Tom tried to talk it out at first. They tried to let them know, hey, that's a foul. But the other guys just made excuses. So, Steve and Tom both decided that they could go play a different game. They didn't need to get all worked up about this game with Mark and Will. And another option could have been they could have just started a different basketball game if there was another ball, and not play with Mark and Will if they're going to play rough. If that didn't work, if Mark and Will continued to pester them, Steve and Tom could have gone to an adult for help at that point. So it's never after you've tried to solve a problem and you've used 2 choices, it's always okay to seek out an adult and ask, hey, this is what I've tried to do, and I've tried to solve it, and it's not going away. I need help. It's okay. It's not tattling.
One day, Sophia was watching one of her favorite TV shows. That was until her brother came home.
Hey, I was watching that. Yeah, but the baseball game is on. I was here first. Doesn't matter. Give it back. Here. working. You need the batteries.
Okay, Sophia and Sam have a problem. Can they find a solution? Let's find out.
Okay, how about this? You let me watch the baseball game now, and when it's over, you can watch anything you want. Deal?
Okay, but what happens tomorrow?
Okay, you can watch your favorite TV show tomorrow, even if there's a baseball game. We'll take turns. Deal?
Deal.
Batteries, please.
Fine.
You can always handle a small problem. Sophia and Sam made a deal and decided to take turns. Using the choices of what to say and what to do on Kelso's wheel can help you resolve conflicts without fighting too.
Sophia was home watching one of her favorite programs when her brother Sam came in and changed the channel. And he said it was because the baseball game that he wanted to watch was on, even though she was already watching her program. They started to argue, but Sophia, she took the batteries out of the remote. Sam didn't realize this, and when she handed the remote back to him, he couldn't control it. Instead of getting really upset, he was able to stay calm and solve the problem by making a deal with his sister. And that deal then, they both felt good about. They both had contributions in what that deal would look like. I just want to remind you that sometimes the first choice that we make to try to solve a minor problem doesn't always work. It's important that we continue to think about it and try another choice. If the second choice doesn't work, it's okay to find an adult you trust and talk about the problem. It's not tattling, it's just the next step in trying to solve this problem. All right. Here's 2 more video clips about serious problems.
One day when no one was around, Nate decided to look through his teacher's desk even though he knew it was wrong. Then, all of a sudden, Sophia showed up and saw what he was doing. Sophia faced a big problem.
Hey, what are you doing?
Listen, if you tell anybody what you just saw, you're gonna be really sorry. You got it?
Yes.
Sophia is scared. She has a problem. But what can she do? Sophia decided to tell her teacher. So Sophia told her teacher exactly what she saw, and she told her she was scared because Nate had threatened her. Sophia had a big problem, but she did the right thing. She asked a grown-up she trusted to help her find a solution.
Sophia comes walking into the classroom and finds another classmate stealing from the teacher. He's going through her bag, he's pulling out things. I saw that he had money, and she recognized right away this is a serious problem. And she said, "Hey, what are you doing?" He immediately came up and threatened her and said that if she told, she'd be sorry. Okay, that's what bullies do. They threaten you to try to control you. Okay, Sophia knew that she needed to ignore what he said and go get help for this problem. Sometimes bullies might threaten you or threaten your pet or a family member, or they might threaten to spread rumors, all kinds of things. It's important that you don't believe the threats, that you get away from the bully, and then you get help from an adult you trust.
One day, Steve walked into the boys' lavatory and saw Mike showing some other kids a knife. Mike looked at Steve in a threatening way. Steve felt scared and turned around and walked out. A knife in school is a serious problem. It's not a problem Steve could solve himself. He was scared, so he did the right thing. He told a grown-up what he saw. The teacher was able to take care of the situation before anybody got hurt.
Steve walked into the restroom and saw that Mark was showing the other guys a pocket knife. We don't bring knives to school. Knives are weapons. When Mark noticed that Steve had walked in, he turned and gave him a threatening look, saying, "You better not tell," with his look. Steve then left, and he recognized right away, this is a serious problem, and this is a problem I can't solve on my own. And he went and got help right away. Anytime someone brings a weapon to school, or maybe we think, oh, it was just a pocket knife, it's still, knives are not okay to be at school. And so we need to get help with it from adults with that problem. Okay, so minor problems. Again, minor problems are annoying and cause us to feel annoyed, bothered, hurt, mad, sad, frustrated, embarrassed, and confused. All a whole bunch of feelings, okay? But serious problems, they not only make us have those feelings, but they're also scary and they're dangerous. They make us feel frightened and scared, terrified, alarmed, bullied or threatened, nervous or anxious, or panicked. Serious problems, we have to get help from adults. Imessages. Remember, use a clear, strong, assertive, but kind voice. Imessages help us to stand up for ourselves in a safe way, and they help us to communicate clearly a direct message to the person who's hurting our feelings. We use imessages in minor problems. And bullying is when someone keeps being mean to someone else on purpose. It's intentional, hurtful, one-sided and unfair, ongoing, and involves an imbalance of power. If you're being bullied, this is a serious problem, and you need to get help from a trusted adult as soon as possible. All right, Dragonflies, you finished this video. Now complete the Flipgrid activity that's attached, and I'll see you later.